Folks, I got a couple great clips here for you today. First one is Greg Gutfeld. If you don't know who that is, he is the comedic voice over on Fox News. And sometimes he just spills the beans, says some things that I think are insightful and need to be shared, including his statement right here. And after that, we'll get into Trump's video that he just dropped less than 3 hours ago. And he's also got an ad out that's pretty awesome that I'll be bringing to y'all probably later today or tomorrow as well. It's a mind blowing ad. But in the video I got for you with Trump in it, I'll leave you in suspense on that. Stick around to the end. This first clip won't be too terribly long, but listen to everything Mr. Gutfeld says right here because it makes so much sense to me, just because it's the absolute truth. He's talking about these indictments and everything that's going on with our country right now.
B-level worse than water. He's John Dean. He's definitely no Carl Bernstein. Or maybe I have them confused. I don't know. Just remember, Democrats and media, you will never be able to contest another election as long as you live. And you love doing it. No more. You're not going to be able to do that. And unless your candidate is a pre-chosen one by the establishment, you will be targeted with lawfare, which means your staff and your lawyers and your family will be sued and charged, because all of these indictments are meant to send a warning to everybody else. Don't work with Trump, right?
That's right.
So you will lose a lot of time, you will lose your minds, you will lose a lot of money. So if you're on the opposition, you're watching this show right now and laughing, and because you're getting what you're applauding something that isn't moral at all. It's something that is emotional and kind of petty, but it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. If you're a Republican, all right, this has to be exhausting. It has to be confusing. It has to be overloading because it never stops. That's the point. They're trying to wear you down. Wearing somebody down is a type of persuasion. It's the political version of brute force, submitting endless passwords, hoping that eventually you'll guess it correctly. That's what the indictments are doing. They're constantly putting this in here. Even the attempt itself is tiresome because you have to deal with it. You're the machine that responds. This is the largest political cancellation in history. It's a bloodless assassination. They want you to freak out over it, and you need not to. The scarier response is silence, because that means you take it more seriously than they'll be aware of. The Democrats, and then I'll shut up, are using this reality show trick. If they pile on the events, right, whether it's challenges, if you ever watch any reality show, they start stacking the events, challenges, obstacles, stunts, they're trying to get the most visual, memorable thing to happen. And that's what they're doing. They want you to freak out. They want you to blow your mind. But no, just go back to work and settle it that way.
Judge, before...
I just thought that was really insightful, and he's absolutely right. This is exhausting at times, just watching what they're doing to Trump. And he said it right in the beginning. If they're allowed to get away with charging Trump and or all of the other 18, 19 indictees over racketeering charges, over contesting an election, I guess the new rules will be from this point forward that there will be no arguing over future elections. That's just crazy. This is something that is sets a mark in history. This case will be a huge deciding factor as we go forward in this country, on the level of free speech, but also freedom to vote and not worry about being persecuted. Because if they will come after you behind arguing about the votes, they'll come after you for whatever they can think of next. And it's just a horrible dictatorship type mentality. This reminds me of some of the stories I read when I was reading about the Nazis and the Third Reich and things in the past. And they used the SS as their Gestapo, their police force, to scare people witless into thinking that they were going to be next. And so therefore everybody broke apart, told on each other, whatever they could do to try to cause a psychological warfare on these people before they actually had to come deal with them. Because fear is crippling for a lot of people. And I'm just glad to see we have got such a fearless man going to be running for 2024. Donald Trump, no matter what kind of legal problems he's got. I think he is beyond fearless. Just saying, hey, we're going to come after y'all if y'all going to come after me. And I couldn't believe he said that when he did, but I knew all it was going to do was enrage the left. So more power to you, Trump. Sometimes I think you need to watch your P's and Q's, and then I turn right around and think, well, that wouldn't be Trump. All right, folks, now speaking about Trump, I've got another video clip here for you, and this is a good one, too. If you bear with me just a second, I will get this thing out as well.
Received more than $20 million from foreign countries.
Bear with me, folks. Apologize. Expand this a little bit. Work with me, folks. We're only doing one take on this one, so. All right, here we go. This is about 4 minutes of Trump. Speaking about Joe Biden and what's coming.
As well. Crooked Joe was vice president, and probably a lot more than that. That's just the money they found. Not one of Joe Biden's defenders has even attempted to explain what Joe and his family did, including his children and his grandchildren. What were they doing getting all of this money? I believe we have a compromised president. He was bribed, and now he's being blackmailed. He's a Manchurian candidate. That's why Crooked Joe is letting other countries walk all over the United States. He's afraid to bring it up. He doesn't want to talk about it. He's petrified of China because they know exactly how much money has been given to him, and they know exactly where it is. China has paid him a fortune. Just think of what China has gotten for all that money. Biden shut down my administration's initiative targeting Chinese spies in the United States. He shut it down cold. He let China off the hook for COVID. He shut down the investigation into the origins of the China virus. He did nothing as China began setting up bases in Cuba, taking over South America, and threatening Taiwan. They even took over the Panama Canal. We spent a fortune building it. Jimmy Carter's administration sold it for $1. We lost 36,000 people building the Panama Canal. The mosquitoes got them, malaria. The mosquitoes got them. And now China controls it. Russia and China are even doing military exercises near the Aleutian Islands, right off the coast of Alaska. And Biden sits back on his hands. He does nothing. This never would have happened if I was president. If they even thought about it, I would have shut it down instantly. There's no way they would have done any of this kind of thing, including Russia invading Ukraine would have never happened, and China wouldn't even be thinking about Taiwan right now. Crooked Joe's corruption is a glaring threat to national security. Between the millions and millions of dollars he's gotten from China and the millions of dollars from Ukraine, Joe Biden's greed and criminality is going to get us into World War III. We're going to be in World War III with this guy. Grossly incompetent man. Now the corrupt Biden DOJ is continuing the cover-up with the appointment of a special counsel to block further investigation. It's the very same U.S. attorney who cut Hunter Biden the scandalous plea deal that was such a scam it didn't survive the barest scrutiny in court. It was done under what's called blue slip. It wasn't picked in that position by President Trump. It was picked by the Democrat senators in the state. It's called a blue slip. You'll check it out. But they picked him. I didn't pick him.
Now, I'm glad he brought that up. Every single time, I'm talking 50 times probably, every single time I listen to a Democrat trying to defend Hunter Biden or Joe Biden, the first words out of their mouth is Attorney Weiss, who was appointed, or Judge Weiss, Attorney Weiss, who was picked by Trump appointed. It's making people assume that this guy is on Team Trump. truth be known, folks, the states usually have the senators, the two state senators that have the majority there, pick the next state judge, no matter what it is, precinct job or depending on where it's at in the court system. But the president has to approve them. But most of the time, he doesn't know these people from Adam. He's just the Democrats say this is the guy we want to put in there, and since they have the majority, they get to do the choosing. Works that way in most states. But at any rate, Trump, because he said, y'all pick Weiss, okay, he didn't know Weiss, he didn't know his credentials, and because he was Trump picked, because the Democrats offered him to pick him, Trump picked over 300, put over 300 judges in their position while he was president. I guarantee you, nobody had time to vet them and make sure that they were the right person for the job. So anytime you hear Trump appointed as a defense mechanism from one of these Democrats, that doesn't actually mean anything because, like Trump just said, this was actually a Democrat appointed. He just basically signed off on it.
This is corruption like our country has never seen before. That is why, as soon as I am reelected, I will appoint a real special counsel, or maybe you'll call it a special prosecutor, whatever you want to call it, you can, to look at all of these bribes, kickbacks, and other crimes, as well as the shameless attempt at a cover-up. Justice will be done. The Biden crime family will be looked at. We have to get there first. We have to win the election. They're trying to step in my way at every path because the one person they don't want to run is Donald Trump. But when we get there, the Biden crime family will pay a price like other people are being forced to pay. And that price will be very, very substantial. It'll be fair. But you know what? If they're guilty, they're going to be guilty. What they are doing to justice in this country has never even been thought of before. Thank you very much.
I love it, folks. I thought that was a great clip there. Like I said, I do have another ad, a Trump campaign ad that came out today as well. I'll be bringing you that one later on. I hope everybody enjoyed. Like, subscribe, and share. Devoted Patriots. Over and out.